The boutique was a high-end establishment, known for its exclusive clientele and exorbitant prices. Nestled in a posh neighborhood, it catered to celebrities, socialites, and the occasional curious shopper. Its pristine glass windows displayed mannequins adorned in designer outfits worth thousands of dollars. Inside, the store exuded luxury, with its polished marble floors, sparkling chandeliers, and an air of exclusivity that made even the wealthiest customers feel special. On an otherwise quiet afternoon, a woman walked into the boutique. She was dressed simply in a cream-colored blouse and tailored beige pants, paired with flats that showed practicality over opulence. Her hair was tied back in a neat bun, and she carried a modest handbag. At first glance, she appeared ordinary, just another shopper browsing through the racks. The sales staff, however, were not impressed. A young employee named Amelia, new to the job but already enamored by the allure of the store, noticed the woman and raised an eyebrow. Whispering to her co-worker, she sneered, "Did you see what she's wearing? Looks like she walked out of a discount store." The co-worker chuckled but kept her focus on folding scarves. Melania Trump, the woman they mocked, remained unaware, or so it seemed. She quietly walked through the aisles, her fingers brushing over the fabrics as she examined the clothes. To her, this outing was a rare moment of freedom, away from her responsibilities and the public eye. She enjoyed the simplicity of browsing without the constant glare of cameras or the weight of her public image. But Amelia couldn't contain herself. As Melania picked up an elegant black evening gown, Amelia approached her with a smirk. "Can I help you, ma'am?" she asked, her tone laced with condescension. "That dress is from our couture collection. It's quite expensive." She emphasized the last words as though warning Melania to reconsider. Melania looked up, her serene expression unchanging. "It's lovely," she replied softly. "Do you have it in a smaller size?" Amelia's smirk grew. "I'm not sure it would be in your price range," she said, barely hiding her amusement. She turned to grab a size, muttering under her breath. Some people really overestimate their wallets. The interaction didn't go unnoticed. Other employees in the store exchanged glances, unsure whether to intervene or stay silent. Melania, however, remained composed, seemingly unaffected by the young woman's attitude. As she continued to browse, she overheard Amelia whispering to another staff member nearby, making disparaging remarks about her cheap outfit and questioning why someone like her would shop there. The comments stung, but Melania kept her head high, determined not to let the rudeness ruin her day. Little did Amelia know, her assumptions were about to come crashing down. What began as a moment of mockery was about to turn into an unforgettable lesson that would leave her and the entire boutique staff stunned. Melania continued her quiet browsing, her calm demeanor masking any discomfort she felt from the saleswoman's repeated jabs. She had encountered such behavior before, quick judgments based on appearance rather than substance. As a former model and First Lady of the United States, she was no stranger to being in the public eye or facing scrutiny. What set her apart was her grace under pressure, and today would be no different. Amelia, on the other hand, seemed to grow bolder. As Melania picked up a silk scarf and examined its intricate design, Amelia walked over with a smirk. "That's hand-stitched," she said, her tone dripping with condescension. "It's part of an exclusive collection, very high-end." She paused, eyeing Melania's simple outfit once again. "Are you sure it's what you're looking for?" Melania glanced at her, her eyes calm and unreadable. "It's lovely," she said with a small smile. "I appreciate the craftsmanship." Amelia raised an eyebrow, unimpressed. "Craftsmanship like this doesn't come cheap," she said. "Most of our customers understand that." She lingered for a moment, waiting for a reaction, but when Melania simply placed the scarf back and moved on, Amelia huffed and turned to join her co-worker. "She's just wasting time," Amelia whispered to her colleague. "Probably here to take pictures and act like she belongs." The other employees remained silent, clearly uncomfortable with Amelia's attitude, but unwilling to step in. Amelia, emboldened by their lack of response, continued making snide remarks whenever Melania showed interest in a particular item. Finally, Melania approached the counter with a selection of items: several dresses, a pair of shoes, and a handbag. Amelia's condescending smile widened as she began ringing up the items. "You've got quite an eye," she said, her tone dripping with insincerity. "But, are you sure you want to go through with all of this? It's a pretty hefty total." Melania tilted her head slightly, her serene expression unwavering. "I'm sure," she replied. Amelia punched the numbers into the register, and when the total popped up, she glanced at Melania, fully expecting her to balk at the price. "That'll be $25,400, she said, barely hiding her smirk. To her surprise, Melania calmly reached into her handbag and pulled out a sleek black card, the kind reserved for the ultra-wealthy. Amelia's smile faltered as she processed the transaction. The card cleared without a hitch, and Melania handed it back to her with a polite nod. Amelia's composure cracked. She glanced nervously at the other employees, who now seemed just as surprised as she was. I'll have someone bring these to your car," Amelia stammered, her earlier confidence now replaced with uncertainty. Melania nodded graciously. "That would be lovely," she said. As the staff scrambled to assist her, Amelia tried to regain her composure, but it was clear the power dynamic had shifted. What Amelia didn't know was that this was just the beginning. The lesson Melania was about to teach her would be one she would never forget. As the store employees hurried to package Melania's items, Amelia's nervousness became increasingly evident. She avoided direct eye contact with Melania, her earlier arrogance replaced by a forced smile. Meanwhile, Melania maintained her grace, her poised demeanor, masking the quiet lesson she was about to impart. Just as the items were being loaded into her car, a man in a tailored suit entered the store. He carried an air of authority, and the staff immediately recognized him as the regional manager. He scanned the room, his sharp gaze landing on Melania. His face lit up with a mix of surprise and respect. "Mrs. Trump," he greeted warmly, walking over with an outstretched hand. "It's an honor to have you in our store today." Amelia's jaw dropped. The realization of who she had been mocking all along hit her like a thunderbolt. She froze, her mind racing as she replayed every dismissive comment she had made. Her colleagues exchanged uneasy glances, fully aware of the gravity of the situation. Melania, ever gracious, shook the manager's hand and exchanged pleasantries. She made no mention of Amelia's behavior, choosing instead to focus on the professionalism of the other staff members who had treated her with respect. But the manager, sensing something amiss, glanced at Amelia, whose pale face and trembling hands betrayed her guilt. "Is everything all right, Mrs. Trump?" the manager asked, his tone laced with concern. Melania hesitated for a moment, her calm gaze shifting briefly to Amelia. "Everything is fine," she said softly, her words carrying an unspoken weight. "I just hope the staff here understands the importance of treating all customers with dignity and kindness. You never know who might walk through your doors." The message was clear, and the manager nodded solemnly. "Of course, Mrs. Trump. That's a value we hold dear." His eyes hardened as he turned toward Amelia. "I'll make sure that standard is upheld." Amelia's face turned red as she stammered, trying to defend herself. I didn't mean," she began, but the manager raised a hand to silence her. "I'll handle this, Amelia," he said firmly. Melania gave a small, polite smile. "Thank you for your time," she said, turning to leave. As she walked toward the door, she paused and glanced back at the staff. "Remember," she said gently, "kindness costs nothing, but means everything." With that, she stepped outside, her quiet yet powerful words leaving an indelible mark on everyone in the room. Amelia stood there, humiliated and remorseful, realizing the depth of her mistake. Little did she know, her actions would have consequences far beyond a mere reprimand. After Melania Trump left the store, the atmosphere was heavy with tension. The staff, particularly Amelia, felt the weight of what had transpired. Amelia's arrogance and dismissive attitude had turned what should have been a routine encounter into a moment of reckoning. The regional manager wasted no time addressing the situation. He called Amelia into his office at the back of the store. Her confident demeanor was now completely shattered, replaced by visible nervousness. As the door closed behind her, she braced herself for what was coming. The manager wasted no time. "Amelia, do you have any idea who you were mocking today?" he began, his tone sharp but controlled. Amelia stammered. I didn't realize it was her. I just thought she was—" "That's exactly the problem," the manager interrupted. "You assumed. You judged a customer based on their appearance, and you treated them with complete disrespect. This goes against every value we stand for as a company." Amelia's eyes filled with tears. "I made a mistake. I didn't mean to cause harm." The manager's voice softened slightly but remained firm. "Mistakes happen, Amelia. But when those mistakes hurt others and damage our reputation, there are consequences." Amelia was formally reprimanded and informed that she would be undergoing extensive training on customer service and sensitivity. Her colleagues were also reminded of the importance of professionalism and respect, ensuring that no one else would repeat her behavior. Meanwhile, Melania's visit didn't end with her quiet departure. News of her interaction at the store spread quickly. A fellow shopper, who had witnessed the entire incident, posted about it online. The post went viral within hours, detailing how Melania had been mocked, but responded with grace and dignity. The story caught the attention of major news outlets, and soon the store found itself at the center of public scrutiny. However, instead of issuing a statement of apology, Melania chose to address the situation in her own way. During a public appearance a few days later, Melania was asked about the incident by a reporter. Her response was both humble and impactful. "We all make mistakes," she said. "What matters is that we learn from them. Kindness and respect should be extended to everyone, regardless of their background or appearance. That is the foundation of true humanity." Her words resonated with millions. People admired her ability to turn a moment of humiliation into a powerful lesson on empathy and humility. As for Amelia, the experience changed her profoundly. She took the training seriously, reflecting on her biases and attitude. Months later, she wrote a heartfelt letter to Melania, apologizing for her actions and thanking her for showing grace instead of anger. Melania's quiet yet powerful response served as a reminder to many. True strength lies in kindness, and dignity cannot be measured by outward appearances.